Thank you to everybody who's joined in so far. Just giving another minute more and then we'll get started. Okay, I think we'll kick things off. So thank you so much to everybody who has joined in so far, and we will continue to have people joining in as we go along. I do see some new faces, so just covering and introducing those who are not familiar with this whole process. But this is the Uday Knowledge Sessions brought to you by Mumbai FinTech Hub and PwC. This is the 12th edition of the session that we've been running over the last 3 months. For those of you who are new to this, Mumbai FinTech Hub is the fintech vertical of the government of Maharashtra and is focused on the growth of the fintech sector in the state. So they are custodians of the fintech policy and they drive fintech growth through multiple strategies. And one of the key strategies they look at is building the fintech talent in the state and beyond through such education initiatives. And that is what Uday is. Uday is the flagship fintech education program of Mumbai FinTech Hub and focuses on assisting students like yourselves who have joined in and who are interested in pursuing careers in the fintech space by equipping you with the relevant knowledge you need and information, be it in the form of the fintech course that we run or sessions like this to give you access to the information you need to explore such careers. And that's what this Uday Knowledge session is, where we specifically focus on key fintech concepts and we invite industry experts to give you that practical knowledge and give you that perspective that will really differentiate your thoughts and your point of view when you're looking at pursuing such careers. And also during this session, we would cover what are the key skills and the areas you should focus on when you're looking at job opportunities in this space. Today, we are very excited to have Mr. Srikanth, who is CEO of IDOS. IDOS, as some of you know, is a cloud-based accounting and financial management ERP and has really established a strong presence both in India and globally in terms of providing its solutions and really growing and working with different customer segments to grow their businesses. What is particularly interesting for the IDOS model is how the company has grown its scope and influence in the fintech space using this core accounting and financial management ERP offering and using that as a base to not only really assist its clients to grow, but also pivot into other areas as well and facilitate growth in that sense. And therefore, we are really happy to have them and looking forward to hearing from Mr. Srikanth today. Srikanth has over 2 decades of experience and knowledge of the accounting and financial management space and risk management space. Apart from the fact that he's also built his own organization from the grounds up. And we're really, really happy to have him. And we encourage all of you on the call today to take this opportunity to leverage his experience and ask him whatever questions you have to cover what he's talking about today. Before handing it over to Srikanth, just setting the housekeeping rules as we always do. As with all our sessions, we like this to be as interactive as possible. So, we welcome your questions. While Srikanth will cover a lot of the core concepts, you're free to ask your questions using the Q&A feature in the WebEx window. So if you look at the current screen, it shows you that if you click on the black button with the 3 dots and click on Q&A, it'll open up a chat interface for you to type in your questions. Just make sure that you address your questions to all panelists, as has been shown. Similarly, if you're using your phone to log into this, it's a similar flow. The phone also has a black button with 3 dots and a Q&A feature, which will open up a chat window for you to post your questions. So we also got a number of questions at the beginning, and Srikanth has a perspective on how this flows. So you may see some of your questions being answered already, but please don't hesitate to send in your questions. We'll cover them as the conversation moves forward. Well, that's it. Without much further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Srikanth. Srikanth, welcome, and Good to have you today. We'll just
Thank
pass
you
on
so
the
much.
centralized to you.
Thank you for the introduction, Avish, and it's a pleasure to be on this platform and give an overview from the perspective of accounts and finances to how accounts and finance is actually bringing in a lot of innovation in the fintech sector. So normally what happens is when we talk about fintech per se, we generally think that fintech is only to do with payments or to do with lending or investments. What's very important to understand is that fintech actually encompasses even the traditional accounting and financial management, which we are currently managing through a lot of disconnected systems and a lot of human intensive processes. Ultimately, fintech is what it is: finance and technology coming together. And the backbone of finance is actually accounting. So, what we see right now when we talk about fintech is we only think of fintech from point of view of, as I said, payments, digital lending, investments. But what we're actually seeing is actually the tip of the iceberg. What actually is happening in fintech industry as such, and the changes which are coming in, and the kind of opportunities which the fintech sector is providing is significantly larger than what is visible right now. And this is something which I would like to touch upon as we go forward in this presentation, and to tell the participants that there's more to fintech than what we currently see. And there's a world of opportunity which is coming up for, which is going to provide the significant opportunities for jobs, careers, a lot of opportunities for research, and a lot of opportunity also for innovation and entrepreneurship. So normally when we talk about bookkeeping and accounting, I guess the routine terms which come to our mind is sales accounting, purchase accounting, or the management of accounts receivable, accounts payable, cash and bank, and the routine reports like trial balance, balance sheet, filing of tax returns. So even when we study in our colleges and when we uh, go through our academics, these are routinely what we are learning from the point of view of accounting. But fintech is actually changing the way we manage all these components. So when you just talk about sales, it's not just a question of passing an accounting entry for sale. Fintech has created a complete new product line which completely focuses on sales. It is integrated with CRMs to engage with the customers. It's integrated with taxation authorities like GST so that the GST compliance can be done in real time. It also is integrated GST for e-filing of your invoices or for generation of e-way bills. And unlike earlier where sales accounting meant just passing an entry in the books of accounts, now, the accountant, when he's doing sales and he's managing sales, he's actually fed a lot of information through the fintech tools that he has. So he's able to engage with the customers. He can email the invoices in real time without having to physically send them, or he can even ensure that the inventory is there when he is actually making a sale, so that he doesn't have to think that, okay, I'm making a sale, is there sufficient inventory in the warehouse? All the information is made available to him in real time through fintech tools. And then another very important thing when it comes to sales, the kind of sales. Earlier, it used to be just retail and wholesale. Now, with the e-commerce companies coming in, the method of managing sales and how sales as a process is managed is a lot different in e-commerce industries. So that's brought in a lot of opportunity for people to just innovate and even make careers only pertaining to sales and sales related activities in accounting. Same way on the purchases side. Now, when you talk about purchases, it's not just recording a particular expense. There are a couple of things which are manually done right now. For example, for any purchase or any expenditure, you're manually checking whether there's sufficient funds for that, whether it is being budgeted. You're manually taking approvals from your managers, or you're just identifying the existing vendors. But then what fintech has done is it's made all this information readily available. and it builds into the fintech applications, wherein when you're making a purchase, the software itself can alert and see that, hey, you're buying it from this supplier, but his weighted average price is more. So why don't you try another supplier who's giving you a better weighted average price? Then it also tells you which supplier is giving you maximum credit period. So there's certain information which actually enables you to manage the process of accounting and financial management during purchases because of the fintech that which are available in the system. So it's feeding a lot of data for even routine sales and purchase transactions. Now let's say accounting with respect to debtors and accounts receivable, highly automated in the sense that you don't have to call up your customers and ask them for payments, etc. Auto reminders go either by telephone or auto reminders go by email, telling the customer that a particular invoice is come for payment. And then along with the reminders, a payment link is sent to the customer, and the customer can just click on that particular link and make either the full payment or the part payment. And the software automatically passes the accounting entries. And if there's any adjustment pertaining to withholding taxes, TDS, and GST, the software is taking care of all that component of accounting. And cash and bank, a huge revolution is happening in cash and bank accounting. I mean, routinely when students talk about cash and bank, we only talk about payments with checks or use of cash payments, etc. Now we have a new line that is the digital wallets, online payments, Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, so many other technologies and tools which have come, which has expanded the methods by which we can manage the inflow and outflow of cash transactions. Then at this point in time, if you look at some of the legacy or traditional accounting softwares, most of the softwares are already preparing their trial balance sheet, profit loss account automatically. But what the fintech ecosystem has done is it has actually combined all the accounting transactions with the reports, and in real time, as you process any accounting transaction, all the reports, all the analytics, and all the aspects which are connected to a particular transaction get done automatically with the click of a button. For example, when you make a sale, the software not only accounts for the sale, it'll update the debtors, it'll update the age analysis, it'll update the trial balance entry, it'll update even the entry with respect to debtors being increased in the balance sheet. Any other analysis, let's say that there's some customer behavior analytics which are also being done by the company, you don't have to again export the data into Excel and do a lot of analysis. The software actually is getting interconnected and then updating all the reports and analytics pertaining to sales. So that integrated ecosystem is what the fintech is brought into accounting and financial management space. And as everybody would be familiar, there are softwares like ClearTax or Saral, which are letting you file all your tax returns online, and you're no longer doing it manually. So, in fact, most of the statutory registrations, also including GST and other registrations, are now mandatorily being done online. There's no more manually going there and filling up forms, etc. So, the entire space of accounting and the routine financial management processes that we're used to right now has been really impacted by fintech. So when we talk about fintech, it would be wrong to imagine fintech only with respect to external things like the payments or the lending, etc. What is also important is just because fintech has brought in a lot of innovation, a lot of activities being done automatically by the softwares and the tools that we're using in the fintech industry, there could be a misconception that, hey, would that mean that my job will be lost? Can I still get jobs like uh, jobs which are routinely available for accountants? We get accounting jobs, we get financial management jobs. What if I'm a commerce graduate or a postgraduate or an MBA or a CA? Would the technology take away the jobs which I normally do? Certainly not. What the technology is doing is it's enabling you and providing you tools to do whatever you're doing much faster, more accurately, and real time. so that you as a person can actually do a lot more with less amount of effort. And you can also do a lot of value added aspects. See, right now, what we are seeing in the industry is that if you're a BCom, MCom graduate, for example, or sometimes even if you're a chartered accountant, you're getting engaged in transactional activities, passing accounting entries, reconciliations, rectification, or preparing certain statements, taking data from different places, etc. But if you really look at it, you're not using all the knowledge that you're gaining as during your academic studies. You're using only that knowledge which pertains to transaction processing. Once the routine and the mundane activities of transaction processing is handled by the software, you are then having a lot of time and a lot of information which the software provides to do a lot of value added tasks in the company. And that is where I think the finance professionals will be going moving forward. Now, I would like to just play a simple video to talk about how we have to overcome the myth that fintech would actually impact the routine jobs in the industry. I'll just play a small video for everybody.
Accountants, look out. The robots are coming for your job. New technology is changing the future of accounting, and many accountants are afraid that automation and artificial intelligence will replace their jobs. But that fear is misguided for two reasons. Reason number one, new technology doesn't wipe out jobs. It reinvents jobs and even creates them. For example, when the car came along, it created an entirely new industry of jobs centered around the automobile, gas stations, repair shops, manufacturing, and more. In today's world, that means accountants won't simply be replaced by computers or robots. They'll learn new skills and move into more specialized roles. Reason number two, automation can't replace every aspect of an accountant's job. At this point, technology can only replace routine and non-creative tasks. Think data collection, auditing, general ledger, and accounts payable. So no, robots aren't coming for your job. They're coming alongside you and taking up your routine, mind-numbing tasks, freeing you to move into a more advisory, strategic role. But if you ignore the pace of change, you may be left behind. In this climate of innovation, accountants must adapt in order to survive. Many accountants don't want to change. They've learned the ropes, settled into their routines, and prefer to stick with what they know. But the truth is, automation will likely transform the accounting profession within the next decade. Accountants need to be ready. So, how do you prepare? Accountants will likely redefine themselves as strategic advisors. Technology like AI and machine learning will automate rote tasks that take up hours every day, allowing accountants to move into big picture advisory roles. Accounting firms of the future will use automation to become more efficient, communicate key insights to clients, and continue to build their reputation as trusted advisors. The truth is, change won't end with automation. Technology will continue to advance, and the accounting profession will continue to change. Accountants are up for a tough challenge in the years ahead. But if you learn new skills, stay open to new technology, and anticipate the tide of change, you'll be rewarded with greater opportunities.
So that's the reality. So there's no question of technology replacing humans. It's certainly not going to be the case. Our knowledge, whatever we have, will continue to play an important role in the business. Technology is actually going to be a tool and a partner as we start doing our jobs more efficiently. Maybe it'll even help us to have a better work-life balance and not spend time on transactional activities which are very mundane. So once the technology takes care of all the mundane routines that we currently handling, then we're doing more value-added jobs. And more value-added jobs, more analytical kind of jobs, obviously will even get you more remuneration. As you grow up the value chain of your professional lives, as you do more and more value-added jobs, the salaries that you can demand will obviously be much more than the salaries that you demand for mundane jobs. So to a very large extent, I think we'll really see that fintech tools and software which are coming in will make you better professionals and not replace your jobs. Another very important thing to understand is that the technology, if you say fintech per se, is going to have an impact on every element of the business, not just at the CFO level or not just at the accounting level. Any transaction which is to be accounted can be managed by any person who is the initiator of that particular transaction. So the technology will actually enable every person in the organization to be completely independent of their tasks by themselves. And the goals of what the CFO today plays or what the accounts manager plays today, the different roles that they play and the activities that they manage today will be different. And they will have a lot of data coming out from these software tools, which will enable them to provide more value to the businesses that they're running. Or another very important thing that the technology will enable is basically it will give you a chance wherein you yourself, as let's say, the student of commerce and accounting or management, yourself will be able to become an entrepreneur, start your own.
Srikanth, apologies. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Your voice was a little unclear for a bit, so I just asking you if you could just the last 20 seconds you can hear you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it clear now?
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Thanks. So, as I was saying, I was mentioning that accounting and financial processes across the board in organizations are going to be impacted by fintech, and not just the senior management roles or just the accountant roles. Every person who has tasks or who's doing work which will have financial impact in the company will certainly be touched by fintech technologies. And another very important thing which is coming up, which the fintech industry is providing is even graduates from commerce stream or management stream or engineering stream, you have a lot of opportunities to actually build certain tools by yourselves. Because as I said, it's just start off. Right now, we're only seeing things like payments, we're seeing things like digital lending or investments. The entire financial management and accounting will require a lot of tools for small businesses, large businesses, and also certain specific industries. What I mean by this is that one single tool obviously will not be capable of managing all the tasks pertaining to different industries. There will be certain unique requirements in, let's say, pharmaceutical sector, unique requirements in healthcare sector, unique requirements maybe in a fertilizer sector. So there will obviously be certain requirements which these sectors will come out, and there will obviously be requirements which will be coming out from these different segments as they start adopting fintech for their own growth. So all of you have opportunities to actually participate and maybe build those tools yourself and become entrepreneurs. That is one. Second thing is you can start your own accounting practices. So what the technology, fintech technology will do is it will provide a level playing field wherein even if you're just a graduate, but if you have very good subject knowledge and you're not gone for very advanced education for whatever reason, if your knowledge is good, you can start your own accounting practice using financial technology and then cloud technology. And then you can start providing accounting and financial management services to small businesses from the comfort of your home. You don't even need to have a full-fledged office or any major infrastructure, as long as you have good conceptual knowledge of the subjects that you study. And you can provide those services, and then you can reach out to customers who will be needing those services. Then you can actually start accounting services as a business, because there's a world of opportunity for providing accounting services to small and medium segments. India, for example, has got more than 60 million micro, small, and medium enterprises. If you just look at the micro enterprises, there are almost 40 million micro enterprises which are coming on to the digital age. Many of these enterprises was not really having good books of accounts. They were not having enough tools. They couldn't afford tools earlier. Now, fintech is making tools accessible at a very low cost. And if you have good subject knowledge, you can actually start providing services with the use of fintech technology to millions of micro enterprises, and you can actually use your subject knowledge. You could even do part-time jobs. You could do internships at different organizations, which are providing accounting services to MSMEs. So there's a huge volume of opportunity which is coming. Now I'll just talk about some of the changes which fintech technology is bringing in. Let's say, accounting ERPs or accounting technologies. So right now, after you finish your graduation, if you're looking for a job in accounting and financial management to a very large extent, you'll go to a coaching institute which is going to give you coaching on using certain software, say like Tally, etc. But then all that is changing right now. The concept of passing journal entries, concept of passing debit and credit entries, updating of ledgers, general ledgers, identifying what tax to apply for different payments, what withholding tax, what rate, all that is being done by the software. So just take, for example, the use case of, let's say, IDOS. In IDOS, it's a communication platform wherein the user just tells the software that I'm making this payment to this supplier on so much amount, and the journal entry pertaining to that particular transaction, the TDS pertaining to that particular transaction is automatically handled by the software. It will pass the journal entry, it will update the ledgers, it will update the trial balance on all the upstream reports automatically. So the way we've been doing accounting using traditional software and legacy software is changing. It's a lot of real-time capabilities and the routines are automatically taken care by the software. Then we have this concept of ecosystem portals or ecosystem engagement. See, as we start going towards the digital ecosystem, one of the most important things that's going to happen is that it's not possible for a business to completely stay in a silo and start doing everything by itself. It has to connect with the ecosystem in which it is functioning. The business needs to connect with its customers, it needs to connect with its suppliers, it needs to connect with its auditors, with its bank. It also needs to connect with its employees. So what most of the technologies, accounting and financial technologies are doing right now is it's creating the concept of ecosystem portals wherein everybody who's engaged with the business can actually log into that particular tool and transact with the business. For example, if ABC Enterprises is a business, ABC Enterprises has 3 customers, 1, 2, or 3, and it has 3 suppliers, X, Y, and Z. 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z can log into the software and have their transactions with ABC Enterprises. If ABC Enterprises is making a purchase and raising a purchase order, it will automatically appear in the portal where XYZ can log in, accept the purchase order. If ABC Enterprises is making a sale, 1, 2, 3 customers can actually log into the portal and take the invoices from the portal directly. They don't need to call up ABC Enterprises for getting the invoices. For bank, you can connect to the bank directly. So your bank reconciliation to a very large extent is getting automated. Let us say your auditor doesn't physically come to your premises for doing audit. Now we are living in the lockdown era where the new normal says that maybe we will be working digitally for a very long period of time, or this will become the new normal. So in this environment, the digital tools are actually enabling you to provide a service or carry out your work without having to physically look at a particular file or physically come to a particular location. Because all the transactions are digitized. The supporting documents and bills which the auditor has to verify, they can have scanned images or they can take a picture of that using a mobile phone. They can upload it into the software. So the entire audit routine, vouching, verification of transactions can be done by the auditor from his own office in his house. And then since the technologies are cloud-based, it does not mean that you have to go to the office and physically sit in front of your machine where the licensed version of the software is loaded. Cloud softwares, you can access it from anywhere, anytime, even from your mobile phone, and start managing your business and managing your accounts in real time. And then there are a lot of API integrations which are happening. So there are tools which enable businesses to manage their expense claims, travel claims. There's a tools which will help the business to discount its invoices digitally, or there are tools which are used for filing your tax returns. Now, all these tools require data. So the accounting software through API integrations are directly sending the data to these tools so that you don't have to actually again export the data from that other software and then import it into the other tool that is doing the next activity. So these API integrations are actually making sure everything is the entire ecosystem and the stakeholders of the ecosystem are all available together in one single platform. And it's linked to the brands, it's linked to the auditors.
Srikanth, again, your voice has become a bit soft.
How's it now?
Yeah, much better. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. So as I was saying, that the API integrations ensure that the entire all the tools in the ecosystem are interconnected. So the need for exporting the data, importing the data into some other application is also not there. And to a very large extent, Microsoft Excel continues to be the most prominently used tool across the world, wherein irrespective of what software they use, they actually take the data into Microsoft Excel, they prepare graphs and everything in Microsoft Excel, prepare reports, MIS reports, etc. So what the fintech tools in accounting and financial management have done is that they're actually pushing the data directly into Microsoft Excel. You can just you can in fact log into these tools through Microsoft Excel online, and all your MIS reports and monthly reports that you need to submit for your management, you can log into Excel. You can pull the data directly into Excel, so you don't have to prepare the table. Once the connection is established through an API, all the tables and the graphs pertaining to different accounting reports, variance analysis, everything comes into Microsoft Excel in real time without any human effort. So these are the kind of changes which are coming in to the sector in the routine accounting and financial management software. And the days of actually passing accounting entries, days of just passing journal entries and spending time on those routines, I would say to a very large extent, those days are ending. It's almost like, till 2007, 2008, who thought that Nokia one day will lose its value? Nokia was the most prominent phone those days. And then the iPhone came and the touch screens came and the smartphones came. And then Nokia was out of the picture within the next 3 years. It's the same thing which is happening with the legacy applications. Because the kind of value the fintech tools and technologies are bringing in is significantly larger than existing tools. So the transition is happening very fast. A lot of new changes are coming in the way we manage the processes. And because of the changes which are coming in, the opportunities are also increasing significantly. I would like just play a small video about our company IDOS and explain what we at IDOS do just as a case study. So what we're doing in IDOS is that we are ensuring that the routine transactions are highly automated and the data is available for upstream. So what's important in this is that if the fintech ecosystem per se, let's say we talk about payments. When you talk about payments in a B2B scenario, what you're talking about is making payments to your suppliers, right? So when you have to make payments to your suppliers, you need to know what are the invoices which are pending against that particular supplier. If there's any part payment which has been made against that particular invoice, has the material for that particular invoice been received by the company? Has it been taken into inventory? Is the invoice ready for payment? Now, all this information is now has to be manually looked into and reviewed. But unless you know that the material has actually been received, unless you know that no part payment has been made, you can't actually pass a final accounting entry with respect to what you need to pay to that particular vendor. So what happens in traditional segment is you're passing multiple entries. You're passing entry for making payment. You're passing another entry for adjusting the advance, if any. You're creating another transaction for any tax-related compliance on that particular transaction. But these are the kind of things where in IDOS, it just takes the basic information. Hey, which supplier are you paying? How much are you paying? And against which invoice you're paying. Software automatically checks if there's any advance. It automatically adjusts the advance. It will check if TDS is applicable on that particular transaction. And it'll go ahead and apply the TDS. And it'll pass the entries after taking care of all the ecosystem requirements for that particular transaction. So routine things which we are manually doing, on which we are spending a lot of time, is actually taken care by the software through automation. And because the data is then accounted after the software automatically checks for everything, you know that the data which has been recorded is accurate and reliable. And it also eliminates to a very large extent the need for reconciliation. So when you're making vendor payments and you're connecting to a particular accounting software, you know that this payment is ready, there's no reconciliation required, and I can go ahead and apply the payment. So you could use a particular payment wallet, or you can make an online payment and complete a transaction. Let's say that the business, taking another example, let's say the business wants to apply for a loan. So when the business wants to apply for the loan, at this point in time, what happens is you're taking all the data from the accounting software and you're preparing the reports which the bank requires to evaluate the loan application. So you require projections. There's something called CMA data sheet, which the bank requires about your receivables position, payables position, sales, purchases, inventory, turnover, certain ratios that you need to provide to the bank with respect to those particular loans. Now, if you take the data from a software which is not ensuring that the accounting transaction is accurate, you're spending a lot of time in correcting the transaction data. You're spending a lot of time in getting the data ready for it to be prepared in the format which the bank wants. So, irrespective of what technology you use upstream, if the basic accounting data is not accurate, then the entire upstream process becomes inefficient. So we at IDOS, we actually focus on the base. So we actually focus on the core accounting and financial management. And the data which comes out of IDOS is something which is of a very high quality, which tools can use for, it could be lending, it could be for B2B payments, it could be for discounting of invoices, it could be for any other value-added capability that the business requires. So if you notice, even in accounting and financial management, there's a lot of technology that we have brought in traditional accounting and financial management. And there's a lot of opportunity. If you have to look at it outside of just doing something on your own, or the routine opportunities that you are doing right now as accountants, uh, companies like IDOS, or even companies like QuickBooks or Zoho or ClearTax, other fintech companies which are into these different uh, segments of accounting and financial management or taxation, you have opportunities pertaining to creation of business logic. You have to create business logic, then you need to be good at the subject. Then there are opportunities with respect to systems audit. So basically, you process certain transactions in the software and then check whether the software is giving accurate output. So there's a process of testing and systems testing, functional testing, etc. These are new opportunities which are available. Then there are opportunities pertaining to helping companies adopt this technology. So a person who knows accounts and finance, he will have to go to the company where we are selling the product and then explain to the company how this product can be used in their company. Understand what are the gaps which exist in that particular company, do kind of gap analysis, and work with the employees of that company to help them to adopt digital technologies. So there are multiple opportunities which have come in. I would say there are a lot more opportunities in fintech right now than what was earlier there in the commerce stream, the accounting stream. And even for engineers, to a very large extent, you get exposed only to the things which are on the, as I said, when you look at an iceberg, you're only seeing the top layer, that is payments or lending or investments, etc. There's a lot of opportunity in companies which are actually revolutionizing the entire accounting and financial management space in terms of product development, in terms of the creation of APIs, integration with different tools. So the opportunities are significant in the fintech sector, even outside of just payments and in lending and investments. I would just like to play a small video again. This is a McKinsey report about job opportunities in fintech.
21 million new jobs will be created through financial technology by 2025. Fintech will help boost India's GDP by $700 billion by 2025. Fintech is creating wealth and transforming lives globally. 2 out of every 7 people in the world are using fintech solutions today. Fintech has been changing your everyday life as well, without you even realizing. India is fast emerging as a leading fintech hub.
So large number of opportunities in the entire fintech space, and we're talking about millions. And this particular video, I think, is almost 1.5 to 2 years old. So you can imagine the kind of opportunities which have come up in the last 1 year itself. And then since the lockdown began and the new normal has started setting in, I would say it's almost double. So there are going to be millions of job opportunities in the fintech space for both the different segments of students in the engineering stream as well as in the commerce and accounting and management field. So broadly, if you look at it, it is a very broad-based structure, the fintech structure. There are certain multiple layers in the fintech structure. There could be a base layer where we're talking about bookkeeping and accounting. There's an intermediate layer where we're talking about financial management reporting. There's another layer on top where we're talking about analytics. Then the different layers of bookkeeping, accounting, reporting, and analytics. These different layers provide a lot of end data or the end result, which is then used by tools right at the very top of the ecosystem, like payments or lending, investments, or big data analytics. Big data analytics could be at micro level or macro level. What is the spending pattern in different companies? What are the kind of expenses different kinds of incurring, different kinds of companies incurring? In which geography or which demographic? What kind of sales is happening? What kind of purchases are happening? What is the tax payment behavior in different parts of the country or different segments of the industry? The kind of analytics this can provide is extremely powerful. I mean, just look at it. When we talk about census, the Government of India does this census on a periodic basis. During census, they just ask simple questions, right? I mean, they ask questions about number of people in the household, what is the education, what assets do you own, simple questions like this. And with simple questions like this, if economic policies impacting lives of billions of people will be created, imagine what kind of value the kind of accounting data can provide to the business where that data is being generated, or to the ecosystem where we can use aggregate data and provide a lot of analytics. So phenomenal amount of opportunities, for a phenomenal amount of opportunities both from employment perspective as well as innovation and entrepreneurship perspective is what the fintech offers. So with this, I would like to conclude with one final video which talks about the entire business ecosystem which is changing as a result of technology. Give me a moment.
Srikanth? Right. Perfect. Yeah, we can see a screen.
Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going, good enough is dead. In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to move it in. You. Right now, you are a central point in the raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation. Well, the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars and computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change, or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that used to be dumb and disconnected is now wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future because machines are very good at simulating, but not at being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be automated. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just with what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out from today. We need to go beyond technology and data to reach human insights and wisdom. Technology represents the how of change, and humans represent the why. The future is about holistic business. The opportunity is to be liquid, to learn just in time, not just in case, not single improvements, but complete transformations, not individual systems, but new ecosystems. Humanity is where true and lasting value is created. We will engage, relate, and buy things because of the experiences they provide, because of their transformative power. The future doesn't just happen, the future gets happened. The new way to work is to embrace technology, but not to become it. The future is in technology, yet the bigger future lies in transcending it. That
So basically, the intent of this particular video is to say that technology is anyway going to impact every part and every process, every kind of activity that we're engaged in right now. But there's nothing to fear technology. Technology always is intended to help us become more efficient, reduce the quantum effort that we put in. And once we start adopting technologies, we will have lots of opportunities. And as we start using technologies, the opportunities will provide a lot of ideas for many of you to potentially become entrepreneurs and not just look at only jobs. So with that, I would end this talk. Just wanted to give a brief overview and set a context. I would be happy to take questions.
Thank you, Srikanth. I think that was really helpful and insightful. Also, really glad you've also covered some of the questions that students have, particularly from a career perspective as well. I'm just going to go through a few Q&A questions that have come in. The first one, and this is something I think you also extensively talked through, but I thought it's worth emphasizing again. As you mentioned, one play of IDOS is to really provide companies with solutions that help them with their finance and accounting capabilities. And that is almost a stepping stone to a larger ecosystem play, where I think, as in a number of slides you mentioned, such solutions provide upstream and downstream connections for different companies to connect with other companies, so there are partnership opportunities. And there's also a flow and digitization of data that can lead to a lot of other fintech models as well, be it, say, lending or payments and so on and so forth. So just want to get your thoughts on that in terms of the nature of the business you're in and how essential it is to provide a service by itself, but also be a stepping stone to other business growth and so on.
Hello?
Yeah, Srikanth, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you in the last second. Could you just repeat the question, please?
Yeah, so just want to get your thoughts again on how the space you're in, the finance and accounting space, by itself as a service is extremely important and universally required by most companies. But it also has a stronger role, and that's what I think IDOS is really capitalized on, in terms of creating ecosystems and partnerships, and also creating digital data for becoming a stepping stone platform for other fintech models, be it lending, payments.
Yes.
So just want to get your sense on that in terms of how important that is and how that as a model is really resonating.
Sure. See, in the digital ecosystem, we're talking about something where collaboration becomes very important. It's not possible that one person or one tool does everything. So under the collaborative business model, there are going to be platforms which enable you to manage different activities that you want to manage. For example, what IDOS as a company does is, we as a software, we don't generally sell the software directly in the market. And that's the reason maybe many people wouldn't have heard of IDOS as an ERP. But what we do is we license our software to many large service providers. We work with some of the largest global accounting firms. We work with mid-sized CA firms. We work with companies which provide e-commerce services to end customers. And our software becomes the platform for them to manage their own accounting, their own financial management. For many chartered accountants, our software becomes a platform on which they provide accounting services to their end customers. So taking that a little further, that's where I was trying to relate to the students who are listening to this, that you can use technologies like IDOS to actually start your own business of providing accounting services if that's of interest to you. Accounting services, financial management services, or any consulting services. So what is very important to understand is that if you want to provide a value-added service, let's say, of only financial management and reporting, you cannot do that unless certain data is coming to you and the data is accurate and reliable for you to provide the financial management reporting services. So you need to focus on that as well. And with respect to what IDOS does, we also enable banks to actually connect with our software. So a business which is using our software can actually apply for bank loans directly at the click of a button. The application gets automatically populated. The data which the bank requires for evaluation of credit and to give loans gets automatically populated by the software, because The accounting is done in our software, so the data gets automatically pulled into different reports, and then it gives the bank manager the report in the format which he needs. So because of the kind of collaborations we've built and the interconnections we have built in the entire ecosystem, we're able to seamlessly provide end-to-end service to the business, and that's the reason IDOS is called a digital CFO. I would certainly recommend all the students to actually, be on LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn is a good source of information on different technologies and what different companies are doing. Register yourself on LinkedIn, and then you can even follow IDOS at the rate IDOS in caps is our company name. So you can follow IDOS. We'll keep posting about new developments in technology, new developments at IDOS. And IDOS as a company, we take a lot of interns. We provide a lot of internship opportunities every year to both engineering as well as students from management and commerce background as well. We put it up on our LinkedIn page whenever there are opportunities. So please do follow us, and we can even see if people can come on board as interns. And since everybody is working from home, even internship is offered on a work from home model at this point in time. So I would certainly recommend people to go online and get a lot of information through LinkedIn as well.
Thank you, Srikanth. Thank you so much. And I know in the interest of time, we're close to 4. I'll fit in one more question before we wrap it up, but I think you already covered most of the other questions that were being asked. There's a question specifically, and continuing on where you were speaking about career opportunities. There's a question from a management student who says that being a management student without any tech background, how would you suggest we increase our chances of having career in the fintech space, or even starting our own fintech company?
So just for your information, I'm a chartered accountant, and IDOS, even though it's a fintech company, it's been built by a group of chartered accountants. So we have functionally architected a solution. We've learned a bit of coding ourselves, but of course we have a very strong engineering team right now. But what I wanted to bring out is that you don't always have to be an engineer alone to be in the fintech space. As I said, there's a lot of opportunity even for the non-engineering students in the fintech space. If you're a management graduate, there are a lot of opportunities with respect to things like system evaluation, gap analysis of different companies if you want to do something on the consulting side. So many of the companies obviously even provide on-the-job training. You can even go for internship, and during internship for 2 to 3 months, you can learn what are the opportunities in fintech. So fintech, I would certainly recommend and say that it's not just for the technology enthusiasts. It's a sector which has got huge opportunities for any student from management, accounting, finance, taxation, or engineering stream.
Thank you, Srikanth. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we've reached 4 o'clock, but we could have otherwise continued this conversation. It was really good to have you, Srikanth. Really happy with the insights you provided. We also got some good participation from the students, and I think a lot of their questions were covered during your session. I think what we really also enjoyed was your practical take on what the opportunities are. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your presentation today.
Thanks a lot, Anish, and thank you everybody for your participation. It was nice talking to you all, and you can feel free to reach out to us through LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And yes, to the students as well, please do take this opportunity, do connect. As Srikanth has said, follow IDOS and connect on LinkedIn. And thank you also for your participation today and for logging in. As we always do, we look forward to hearing from you. So please do write into us if you have any feedback on the sessions, any other topics you'd like to cover, or any other specific thoughts you have on how we can run this. We'll be having another session next week as per our regular schedule, so look out for our announcements in that sense. But for now, thank you for joining, and take care and have a good week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.